So we're just impressed with this diverse group. If you look in your packet, you'll see a list of most of you that are registered. We've missed a few people. Pat Kelly, Marshall University, where are you? There she is. We missed Pat on the list, and I don't know who else we missed, but we apologize if your name is not on there. But we just see so much expertise in this room, and we know that it'll just be a great day to share what you do, get new ideas, and think about how you can collaborate together to work towards physical activity promotion. And also, it's the release date of the new physical activity plan, the 2024 Active WV 2030 West Virginia Physical Activity Plan, which we'll talk about throughout the day. So first I want to introduce to you Dr. Clay Marsh, Chancellor and Executive Dean at WVU Health Sciences. Dr. Marsh is always focusing on finding statewide solutions for health and well-being, and we're so pleased to have you here today, Dr. Marsh.
So first of all, good morning. Good morning. Oh, come on, good morning.
Good morning.
This is a great day to not only be a West Virginian, but it's a really important day, I think, to be a citizen of our country. And I'm going to make a few comments, and Eloise told me I need to limit them to about 2 hours. Much shorter than that. But really, our goal is to move from healthcare to health. And this conference and this group that Eloise helps lead that will generate the West Virginia Physical Activity Plan is so important. So I'd first like to have the members of the Physical Activity Plan group please stand up and be recognized by everyone. Eloise, stand up. I'd also like to recognize some of our very distinguished guests and speakers, including Roger Hanshaw, who is a Speaker of the House of Representatives. Gail Manchin, who is the Federal Co-Chair for the Appalachian Regional Commission. Michelle Blatt, who is the Superintendent of Schools in West Virginia. I don't know if Michelle is here yet, but she is terrific. Sherry Young, who's Cabinet Secretary for the West Virginia Department of Health. Don't know if Sherry's here yet. And then Danny Twilley, who has a title longer than everyone else has put together, but Danny plays such an important role in helping facilitate the economic community and asset development for the Brad and Elise Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative. So with no further ado, I want to express my strongest sense of gratitude for all of you here and what you do, and also wanted to give greetings from President Gordon Gee, who is with a Board of Governors meeting today, so I am an insufficient substitute. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Dr. Marsh. Next, please make welcome Dr. Autumn Cypre. She's the Dean of the West Virginia University College of Applied Human Sciences. Dean Cypre shares our desires to find solutions to creating a healthier culture in West Virginia, and we are so fortunate that she supports our work in the Center for Active WV. Dean Cypre.
Good morning. I am so proud to serve as the founding dean of the College of Applied Human Sciences at West Virginia University. And you're going to see me looking down at this paper because I want to be precise in my comments. But I hope that the passion in my voice and the dedication that we share as a faculty and as a college comes through, even if I don't make eye contact with you. But I'm working on it right now. You know, the phrase College of Applied Human Sciences is kind of a word salad. And it's confusing because, like, what does that mean? And what I like to say to people is that we are actually a college of doers, a college of helpers, and a college of learners. We produce teachers and coaches and counselors and health educators and so many other professions that make a real difference in our communities. And I like to think of our college as the place where we think of teaching plus learning plus health plus wellness. And it's the pluses, the intersections of those things that I believe is the key of the innovation of this new college. And it makes us unique in the country because we are studying the intersections of teaching and learning in health and wellness and how that helps prepare the next generation for the future. And I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude toward all of those involved, particularly Professor Eloise Elliott and Professor Emily Murphy and Professor Sean Bulger. And I want to talk about that they together are formidable. Eloise on her own is a force of nature. Surely you know that by now. I had the wonderful opportunity to visit Mercer County with Eloise and Angela Watkins. And the thing that I was particularly struck with was our time at the Mercer County Early Learning Center in Silver Springs. I'm an old school principal and a chemistry teacher. And so I stood next to Principal Steve Hayes in the back of this classroom of 4-year-olds, and they were being led in a daily yoga class. All 30 kids were in their spot, they were following instruction, and they stretched and moved and focused. And to see the senses of these young learners, to watch them marvel at their own success and what they could do with their bodies, and to stay focused and to have joy in that was profound. I was also struck in that moment of my very clear memories of my work in Alabama. I was the Dean of Education at the University of Alabama, Birmingham. And during my tenure there, which would be only a few years ago, I've only been founding dean 2 years here, I worked ardently with UAB's version of Clay Marsh, although there's no other person like Clay Marsh, to fight an entrenched narrative in Alabama that yoga was harmful to learners and thus banned in classrooms. And what I remember most from my work there was that the efforts to talk about in public spaces the intersections of teaching and learning in health and wellness were the most difficult. And that it's these efforts, this is the thing to talk about those intersections. It's the necessary critical conversation we need in our country. In our very modern society, we need to just remember for a moment what the purpose of school is now. School is where you first learn that physical health and mental health are the keys to any kind of life you can dream, and school is where you learn to dream. Some learners grow up reading the backs of cereal boxes and stop signs, and some learners grow up and learn to read to take them across time and space and geography. And I know this is true because of the incredible work you're doing. And I know you know this because you happen to be here. And when people say, oh, we just need to focus on literacy. Our literacy rates are horrible in America and West Virginia. We need to focus on just literacy. No, we're missing the part that health and wellness and resiliency skills propel literacy into a skill that is life-changing. And that's what today is about, is what are we doing to think about the future and the on-the-ground profound work that is happening to change lives early on in the most important stages of development, like the cardiac project that Eloise and her team engage in that I got to watch too. A lot of what will be discussed here today resonates with me to my core because I'm a former K-12 teacher and I'm a principal. And we talk about multi-sector collaboration. And I love that word. It's a wonderful professorial $10 word. I just want to reel it back and put the plus signs in there. Teaching and learning in health and wellness. It's a multi-sector collaboration. And you know what? That's my life's work. It's our life's work. Cultivating a healthy workforce and battling burnout and thinking about what are the things we wrestle with on the ground that are unspoken that we need to address to improve everybody's quality of life. That's the purpose of our college. And that's a real need we have right now. And I truly love being able to say that I wasn't born in West Virginia, but I got here as fast as I could. And I'm not kidding. I am so proud to be a West Virginian by choice. And you know, the Stonewall Resort is beautiful, but I love Cooper's Rock. And I love New River Gorge, and I can't wait to take the puppy to see New River Gorge, but I'm never jumping off on Bridge Day. It's not happening. That's not what I need to do to fulfill my needs. But the best part of what I want to say is that the fruit of just getting outdoors, I am watching in my own practice as a leader and my own practice as a teacher. Our colleagues, our family in the college are really focused on not only serving the community and serving West Virginians and changing what the future may look like. I'm so proud to say that we are a community that takes care of each other. The best part of all of this is that we are in a room today full of people who make things happen. My first year of teaching, one of my kids gave me a little, you know, they give you things at the end of the year. They gave me a little thing they made, and it said, some people make things happen, some people watch what happens, and some people say, what just happened? Okay, actually, it said, what the hell happened, and the kid got in trouble, but I thought it was amazing, and I have it in my office now. This is a group, you are a group that makes things happen. You are a group of doers. You understand that clearing the path between discussion to action is what makes a real difference. I know this because I've seen it. I've seen it in my visits with Eloise. I've seen it when I'm walking in the halls and someone says, let's walk around the building one more time, Dean. Have you eaten today, Dean? Hey, we've got snacks down here that are healthy and protein rich. Awesome. I also know that as West Virginians, we're doers. And you bet I'm a West Virginian by choice. Thank you for inviting me here today, and I want you to know how much I look forward to thinking with you and learning with you, and I can't wait to see what the future unfolds with the focus and the commitment that we're all making today.
Thank you, Dean. We are all doers, for sure, this group. As I mentioned earlier, it's so great to see so many different people from so many different organizations that's willing to put yourself in this position to think about how we're promoting physical activity in West Virginia. So next, though, I want to introduce, although Senator Joe Manchin could not be here today, even though we have his wife, he has sent his best wishes, and here to present those is Wendy Madden, Field Representative for Senator Manchin.
Good morning. I'm delighted to be here today. I know that we always prefer that Senator Manchin could be here, but when he's not, I have the luxury of getting to learn everything that he would be learning if he was in the room. So greetings from Joe Manchin, United States Senator. On behalf of the citizens of the Mountain State, and as your United States Senator, it is my distinct honor to join you for the 2024 West Virginia Physical Activity Symposium at beautiful Stonewall Resort in Roanoke. Here in my home state and throughout all of Appalachia, it is crucial that we take steps to improve the health and wellness of our people. Now more than ever, quality resources are needed so we can all live healthier, safer, and more productive lives. The West Virginia Physical Activity Plan holds immense potential to be a driving force in these endeavors. In addition to developing general strategies to promote physical activity, it has already proven to be effective in strengthening existing partnerships and fostering new collaborations through everything from small business support to infrastructure development. With strong focus, hard work, and determination, I have no doubt that the momentum already underway will continue. The combined efforts of the dedicated professionals here today are essential to maintaining and enhancing the long-term success of our state. We thank Federal Co-Director of the Appalachian Regional Commission, Gail Manchin, and all of the speakers, panelists, moderators, and attendees for making today's event such a success. You are moving West Virginia forward together. With warmest regards, Joe Manchin.
Thank you, Wendy. So I'd like to recognize a few of our special guests and sponsors here. First of all, the sponsors are the Department of Health, the Division of Health Promotion and Chronic Disease. Here with us today is Terry Jarvis and Megan Ross. If you stand up. Also, the National Association of Chronic Disease Directors. Here today is their Vice President for the Center for Advancing Healthy Communities, Ali Jaglowski. Is Ali here? There she is. And you'll be hearing more from Ali in one of the panel discussions. We also have here with us today Rich Hoke. He is our project officer for a school-based cooperative agreement that many of us on this planning committee are on as a funding from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Rich is in the Division of Adolescent and School Health. Where's Rich? There he is. Also, I have to thank Keith Bowling and Jim Smallridge with the Aetna Better Health of West Virginia for providing us with the great purple bags to put your stuff in. I don't know where they are. There they are. And I want to make sure to recognize JJN Multimedia, the owner there, JD Belcher. He is here today to take care of all of our needs with any kind of media here at the event and beyond. So anything you see that comes out of our event today was a product of JJN Multimedia, so we appreciate and are very fortunate to work with them. And as Dr. Marsh mentioned, I can't help but again recognize all of those who made the symposium happen, and those were the ones of us on the West Virginia Physical Activity Plan Coordinating Committee. You'll see most of them as moderators up here for panels. Wave your hand back there, Sean Bulger, Emily Murphy, Jessica Riffey, Dina Jones, Christian Alvezzo, and unable to be with us today is Sam Zizzi. He's on vacation with his family. A few housekeeping things. First of all, if you look in your purple bag, you'll see the agenda, your materials in there. Well, first of all, the agenda is pretty jam-packed. We're already behind, which in my comments, I was going to say we're going to try not to be behind. We're already behind. Sorry. We'll try to do better, but we're going to try. You can see there's lots of things going on. It's jam-packed. We have excellent speakers, panelists, and then if you notice in the agenda, we want to give time for tables to discuss the topic of the panel so that you can learn from each other and learn new ideas and share the things you're doing and talk about ways that we can have collective effort, because that's so important. And I think that is all I have. The only last part here before we start with the first speaker, which is Dr. Marsh. I have a very short PowerPoint presentation that will help you to understand, if you're not familiar with the physical activity plan, how we got that started and where we are now with the plan, and why we even have a state physical activity plan. So our plan, the West Virginia Physical Activity Plan, was modeled after the National Physical Activity Plan that was released in 2010. And that plan, I was a little bit a part of that in the education sector, and it was a 3-year development process that included evidence-informed recommendations and lessons learned from other countries that had national physical activity plans. So one of their priority areas when it was developed, and still is that states develop their own physical activity plans. And that would provide input from the local residents to resonate with what's happening in your state, in your contextual environments. And so after being a part of that, a group of us got together and said, a statewide group, and said, okay, how can we develop a plan in West Virginia? That's what the national plan wants us to do, to have a statewide plan. And really, again, why do we need a statewide plan? Well, if you read the National Physical Activity Plan, there's a lot of parts in it is really focused on national implementation. So when you develop a state plan, and I always use the slogan, all health is local, because my very dear friend, Dr. Bill Cole from University of Texas that recently passed away, he and I worked together to develop state plans, his in Texas and this one in West Virginia. And he always said in all of his presentations, all health is local. And it really is. I mean, we have to consider the environment, the culture, the resources, the people. We want the plan to resonate with people, so we want those people to be the ones that are going to help develop a plan. And so all the way through this, from the very beginning, we've used you, people that are experts in specific sectors, to help us know what kind of tactics and strategies that would work for us, for our state. And also, if you have a specific physical activity plan, it will enhance all the other state chronic disease-related plans. Most states have lots of chronic disease or multiple chronic disease plans, and they mention physical activity. But if we really want to focus on physical activity, we need to have a plan just about physical activity to help make to really give guidance on how we can use that plan to promote physical activity. So, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of us formed a committee. We came together. We had, I think it was at least a 2-year process. I know I met with you, Mrs. Manchin. You were head of the Board of Education, and so the other group, the Healthy Lifestyles Coalition. We met with so many different people to get their buy-in and said, what do you think about this? Is this something we should do in West Virginia? And so we worked to get those people on board, and with just numerous decision makers and state organization leaders like yourself, to develop what our priorities were, our priority areas, and then the sector-specific strategies and tactics. So we released the plan in January 2021, and I'll just mention, the goals are the same today as they were for the first plan, to provide a strategic direction to increase, maintain healthy physical activity levels of all of our citizens, and its effective development, dissemination, implementation, and evaluation aims to facilitate sector input and collaboration, as well as guide policy and practice. And those are very important. How are we going to guide policy and practice? So again, someone even mentioned this morning about the first physical activity plan symposium. We did. We were thinking about developing a plan, so we had a symposium, and these are some pictures of people. We had this first physical activity symposium just really to bring people together. We were very fortunate. We did work with Governor Manchin and Mrs. Manchin at that time to have this symposium. They allowed us to bus 250 people from the Marriott over to their home there, the governor's mansion, and they had a big tent, and that's where we ate, and everybody thought that was great. But we just really tried to make it a really big deal so people could say, oh yeah, we need to have this. We need to have one of these physical activity plans. And so it was eventually launched in January 2012, and it was Governor Earl Ray Tomlin declared it West Virginia Physical Activity Day on January 19th. We did a big thing at the Capitol and made it really well known. Next slide. So you see we got a proclamation from the governor. You can't really see him too well there, but so it was a big day. We made it into a big day. Next slide. So just to give you a snippet of what we've done, I'm not going to go into this because we're behind. We relied on the new evidence that's been released in the last 10 years and really worked with sector leaders again and decision makers, as well as some national leaders in developing and updating new strategies and tactics. So if you haven't looked at the plan yet, it's really important that you see how we, you can see there are the 10 sectors, next slide, and so we have, and most of you indicated on your registration what sector you're most involved with. And so we did have 8 sectors in the beginning for the first plan. We added military, and then sport became its own plan, its own sector. And we also changed our priority areas somewhat. And the big change to the priority areas is that we added multi-sector collaboration. There's that word, Autumn, that you mentioned. So we know that in order to really make something happen, that's the key, is how we work together to do that. I'm just show each slide in the next 10 slides because we're almost finished, but it's really hard to read, I believe, on the way it's projected, but these again are the sectors, and there's just a little something about them. So I'll give you a minute to read those. The screen is huge, so I thought you could just read those yourself. Next. Next. I think it's that huge screen. So this is the last one. Again, there are 10 of these, and just a little snippet about each one there. Just in closing, I want to say, so today, the West Virginia Physical Activity Symposium here, we hope to really unite all you West Virginia leaders to promote physical activity for all across all sectors, for all West Virginians and all West Virginia communities. We, as I said, there's such amazing expertise in this room, so let's explore multi-sector partnerships and improve the health of West Virginians. That's our goal. Thank you.